So I want to thank our buddy Fred for pointing us to this story idea. Tanker trucks.
They're so ubiquitous that I think if I asked you how many you saw today, you'd say, I don't know.
I mean, they're huge and they're loud and they're smelly, but it's not your fault. They're like stop signs or billboards. There are just so many oil and gas tanker trucks driving around all the time that we just don't pay any attention to them.
But maybe we should.
So on Practical Engineering's latest video, Brady showed what happened to cause the collapse of the I-95 highway in Philadelphia on June 14th. Remember that?
So what did happen? It's just because bridges fall down sometimes, right?
Well, a tanker truck carrying petroleum products caught fire underneath it. According to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, 3.9 trillion gallons of oil and gas were moved around the U.S. in 2020. Of this, 1.2 trillion gallons, or 30%, were moved by tanker trucks. So I did a lot of research to find the number of oil and gas tanker trucks in the U.S., and I couldn't find an accurate one. But between my research and some back-of-the-napkin math, I came up with approximately 575,000 oil and gas tanker trucks on the roads in the U.S.
And that's just in the U.S.?
Correct.
Okay, so why are we talking about this? I mean, what the heck does this have to do with EVs and Tesla? The show is called Tesla Time News, Zach and Jesse, not tanker truck news.
Well, I'll tell you. Every time we get one more of these off the roads and replace it with one of these, we actually reduce the number of these on the roads. Now, I'm not saying it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but, well, let's do some math.
So one of these, an ICE car, uses approximately 542 gallons of gas every year. And just a reminder, one of these uses 0 gallons of gas every year.
So if 575,000 trucks carry 1.2 trillion gallons of petroleum around the U.S. every year, or about 2 million gallons each, then for each 3,690 cars that we switch from ICE to EV, we get one of these off our roads in the U.S. And I'm assuming the math holds roughly true around the world as well, no matter what country we're talking about. So now, you may be like,
3,690 EVs, that's a lot just to get rid of one tanker truck.
and that is a lot of EVs needed, but not really.
You see, we're past the EV early adoption stage. We're into the exciting part of the S-curve.
810,000 EVs were sold in the U.S. just last year, and that number is growing exponentially.
So take 810,000 and divide it by 3,690, and that means that last year we took 220 of these tanker trucks off U.S. roads.
Now, again, you might be saying,
Who cares? That's just a few less gas tanker trucks off the road.
well, all it takes is one tanker truck to cause major damage. A 2018 study called A Systematic Review of Oil Tanker Truck Disasters found that between 1997 and 2017, there were over 220 oil tanker truck explosions, resulting in over 2,900 people killed and over 3,000 additional people hospitalized. That's just oil tankers. But if you're like,
Well, who cares? They don't happen near me.
well, think again. They happen everywhere. According to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, which I didn't know existed, tanker truck accidents account for between 5% and 10% of the truck-involved accidents on U.S. roads every year that result in deaths, injuries, or property damage.
In 2017, the most recent year that we have statistics for some reason, there was 9,610 tanker accidents on American roads.
372 of those were fatal, and 3,505 involved injuries.
That's just in 1 year, and that's just in the United States.
There is no estimated cost yet for how much it'll cost to repair the I-95 bridge that collapsed in Philadelphia.
But we can talk averages. It typically costs around $500 million to repair a major highway bridge collapse, especially when it has to be completed quickly.
But the repair isn't the only cost. A typical major highway bridge carries tens of thousands of commuters every day. What is the cost to the commuters in increased traffic when a major bridge on a major artery goes out for weeks or months?
What is the cost to the city?
To the state.
Emergency calls take longer, deliveries take longer, and cost more.
But I guess my point is this. Because it's so hard to estimate the damage of even one tanker truck incident like this one, we tend to just ignore it.
Oh, well, that happened.
We don't go, wait, what? We have whole federal departments that we spend billions of dollars on to protect us from terrorists, but tanker trucks are taking out our nation's bridges all over the place?
Hang on. You can't just take one, bridge collapse. I know that it was major, but you can't just extrapolate that into like it's a big problem.
okay. Yeah, well then check this out. January 5th, 2002, a gasoline tanker overturned and started a fire under the bridge on the I-20, I-59, I-65 interchange in Birmingham, Alabama. January 16th, 2006, a gasoline tanker crashed under the bridge at the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway in New York. April 29, 2007, a gasoline tanker crashed under the bridge at the I-80-880 interchange in Oakland, California. July 15, 2009, a gasoline tanker truck struck an overpass on the I-75 bridge near Hazel Park, Michigan. December 14, 2011, a gasoline tanker caught fire under the bridge at Freeway 80 under Paramount Boulevard in Montebello, California. October 29, 2012, a tanker overturned and caught fire on the bridge at Pont Mathilde, Rouen, France. The fuel spill reached some trucks parked under the bridge that also caught on fire. May 9th, 2013, a diesel tanker crashed at the interchange of I-85 and Route 23 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. August 16, 2013, a tractor trailer traveling on the outbound lower level of the bridge caught fire on the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge in New York. August 15, 2014, a gasoline tanker ran into the pier of the overpass and exploded at the I-65 at Paytonsville Road in Franklin, Tennessee. July 1st, 2015, an ethanol tanker fire caught fire under the bridge at the I-270, I-70 ramp in Ohio. Look, I'll stop at 10 because I value your time, but hopefully that gives you a taste for the damage that these tanker trucks are causing. Notice, I didn't even mention CO2. I didn't even mention air pollution. I'm just talking about death and destruction.
And this is where your actions have consequences. When you choose to drive an electric vehicle, you stop supporting the fossil fuel industry, which has to move all of this gas and oil around the planet.
And when you move trillions of gallons of dangerous, toxic, flammable stuff, you have to move it, store it, refine it, pipe it, truck it, ship it, train it, pump it, which inevitably leaks, catches on fire, explodes, crashes, burns, kills, and injures people, pollutes, and causes wars.
So yes, driving an EV saves you money. And yes, you pollute way less. But driving an EV does so much more by causing so much less pain and destruction to our planet and us little humans who live on it.
Get mad at us if you want to, but when you drive one of these, you're not responsible for this. When you drive one of these, you kind of are. Hey, and if you want to share this clip with your friends, but you don't want to share the whole entire episode, go to our Now You Know Clips channel. There we chop them into little bite-sized clips where you can share them. Also, head on over to Twitter or X, where we also put a lot of our clips. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Tuesdays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below and head over to the Now You Know channel.